Okay, so the theme for tonight, Handling of Family, is that really Jesus put on my heart is one way. And this one way is all about moving forward. We all know Jesus is the one way. But tonight I want to talk to you about moving forward. And how do you move forward with Jesus? Now, I just want to give you a personal testimony. When I turned 30 years of age this year, it was quite hectic for me. It's a very emotional year when you turn 40. If you have turned 40, you probably know. If you haven't, you're going to get it. Don't stress. But 30 is quite a difficult year because what you do when you turn 30 is you reflect back on what your life is, where your life is at, and where your life should go. And you list the things that you have and also the things that you didn't do in the 30 years. And it can easily make you a little bit, not depressed, but you can feel, what have I achieved in my life? And that was exactly for me the point. I woke up the morning when I turned 30 and I was like, what have I achieved? But in being that I'm human, I start focusing on the things that I haven't achieved in my life. Okay, and I compared myself to different people, and I got into a hole. And when I get depressed, I normally go to McDonald's and you buy that share meal, but it's only for you. So you just buy everything you can and then you eat it. Okay, and that is how I felt that day. But then God came to me and He said, but it's all about moving forward. It's not about what you've done. It's just about moving forward because He knows what you're going to do. He knows the place He wants to take you. So if you reassess where you are in your life, you always need to know that you need to think about moving forward rather than just thinking, what have I not achieved in my life? And that was me. That was my testimony, is when I turned 30, I was really thinking about my life and where I'm at and what I don't have in my life yet. Maybe a wife, family, a house, car, everything. You know the list you make. But then you don't need to think about that because you just need to think about one thing, and that is moving forward. Because the only thing that God needs from you is to move forward. He knows what He wants to do with you. He knows which doors He wants to open for you. He just requires one thing: you move forward. Because He can't force you to move forward. If you want to stay stuck in this point, then you will stay stuck. God cannot change your free will. That's the one thing He gave us above all animals and creation, is free will. We are the only creation that can oppose God's will, that can say, God, you say move, I say no. All other creation, if God says move, that thing moves or that creation moves. We are the only ones that can actually just say no. And that's all that you need to do. You are your own feet, but Jesus will lead you to a place. So you just need to move forward. And I want to stop on moving forward tonight and talk about this moving forward. And I want to read a couple of Bible verses for you where the Bible talks about moving forward. And the first one is Isaiah 43, verse 18 till 19. Do not remember the past events. Pay no attention to the things of old. Look, I'm about to do something new. Even now it is coming. Do you not see it? Indeed, I will make a way in the wilderness, rivers in the desert. And this is almost a printout verse. Like, this is the one you write out and you print it out and you block it on your door, okay? Or you screensaver it, because this is a very powerful verse, because it tells you exactly what God can do and about new things, but also about moving forward. Don't look back, move forward. And another verse that I want to read to you is Exodus 14. And this is when Moses split the sea. And it's so powerful here, the last bit. The Lord said to Moses, why are you crying out to me? Tell the Israelites to break camp. As for you, lift up your staff, stretch out your hand over the sea, and divide it so that the Israelites can go through the sea onto dry ground. Going forward. That was this story is about. It's going forward. Jesus didn't tell them, or the Lord didn't tell Moses to stop and stay there in the camp for the next 5 years or so on. He told them, no, move forward. That's all that He said, is move forward. I will open the door. I will split the sea as long as you just move forward. So that's all that we need to do as Christians. is we need to move forward. And another verse I want to read you out is John 5, verse 8, or 6 till 8. When Jesus saw him lying there, he knew he had already been there a long time. He said to him, "Do you want to get well?" "Sir," the sick man answered, "I don't have a man to put me into the pool when the water is stirred up. But while I'm coming, someone goes down ahead of me." "Get up," Jesus told him. "Pick up your bed, roll, and walk." Again, Jesus didn't tell him, "You're healed now. Wait there or pray there for the next couple of hours." He told him, "Get up and walk. Get up and move forward." So moving forward is so central to Christianity and to our religion, or not our religion, but our relationship with Jesus. It's so important for us to know that we need to move forward, and how we can move forward with Jesus. One of my good friends is sitting here tonight, Ian. Now, Ian and I had a journey already a long time ago, but what happened in COVID is Ian had to go to the hospital a couple of times. And I normally took him to the hospital, even before COVID, and it's Joburg Gen because it's close to my work, so he just carpooled. But what happened is, when he arrived at the hospital, he would wait for the doctors, sometimes for 9 hours. And he would sleep there, and then the doctors won't talk to him. And in the next morning, the doctor will say, "No, reschedule, come back next week." And that happened for about how many times, Ian? 10, 12 times already? More than that. And I want to share that story with you, and it's such a powerful testimony, because every week that Ian needs to stay 2 days at the hospital just to get an answer, and they say to him, "No, reschedule," what does he do? He calls me and he says, "Fred, can you please take me next week again?" He's moving forward. He doesn't give up. And that was so inspirational for me, and such an inspiration for my life is his story about being able to say no. I can easily just stay where I am and say, "No, I'm not going to go to the doctor again, to the hospital, because they don't know what they're doing. They don't want to see me." But every week he calls me and say, "No, when can I go? When can I go with you?" And that is so powerful, because that is the moving forward. Even though there's obstacles in front of us, it's still about moving forward. It's still about waking up in the morning and saying, "Yes, I know this has happened every day for the last year, but I will still try again today. I will still move forward today. I will still try to break through today." And that is the power of moving forward. You move and move and move forward all the time. And what Jesus does for you is he opens the doors. So you just need to walk. You just walk forward, and Jesus will start opening doors for you. And it sounds simple, but that's exactly how God works. Because he can't force you to move. But if you start moving forward, waking up every morning saying, "Okay, I'm going to study. I'm going to study for this test. I'm going to study," the results will come. If you say, "I want to build this relationship," and you say, "An hour a day I'm going to spend time with this friend on WhatsApp or in person," then you start building that relationship. That's moving forward. And that's where God starts opening doors for you. If you don't have work and you say, "No, but every day I'm going to go, I'm going to search for work," then God says, "Okay, if you go, then I will start opening doors for you." Because you need to maybe search for 5 different jobs before the 6th one is the one I planned for you. How can you actually get to the 6th one if you don't start with the first one? You need to start with the first job, do it for a year until you get to the 6th one that maybe that is your perfect job. So don't be afraid to move. And I want to also talk about, in this moving forward, about why God wants you to move forward and why do we need to trust him. So we need to trust God in this moving forward, because it's sometimes you move forward, but it's not something you can see in front of you. It's going forward in blindness. And you move forward. COVID-19 this year, 2020, has been a difficult year for most people. It's been an uncertain year. And I was under the impression when they started the lockdown, it will finish by June and we'll be back. And then it didn't. Then I said, "Okay, maybe we'll be back at the end of the year." We're not. And then I said, no, this is a yearly thing. So when it's 2021, 1st of January, everything will be back to normal. But still, we don't know yet. So there's this uncertainty. But we just need to trust God and still move forward. Still follow the things that you want to do. Still build on your dreams, even though we have this uncertainty, even in our country and in our world. And we need to trust God with this. And that's my second point for tonight, is trusting God. Because yes, you can move forward, but while you're moving forward, you also need to trust God. You need to trust God in what you do. And the verse I want to read you out, and you've heard this a lot of times from me probably, but you're going to hear it a lot more, because this is for me the verse in the Bible that is everything. Because it's the moment Jesus shows his humanity side, but also his godly side. And it's Matthew 26, verse 39. Going a little farther, he fell face down and prayed, "My Father, if it is possible, let this cup pass from me, yet not as I will, but as you will." Now, in this verse also lies the way you need to trust God. Let's say you're moving forward in your life and you face an obstacle. You stand in front of a mountain that you can't pass. So you know either you need to climb it or God needs to move it. That's the only two options. And you're standing in front of this mountain in front of you, and it's something in your life, and you say, "Okay, God, what do I need to do?" And that's where this verse comes in. You need to pray like Jesus did here. You said, "Lord, move the mountain. If you don't move the mountain, give me the strength to climb it." Okay. If you're standing in front of a storm, "Lord, calm the storm." If he doesn't, ask him, "Lord, strengthen my sails so I can go through the storm." It's not just about moving the mountain and calming the storm. It's about asking God also for, if this storm stays, or if this mountain stays in my life in front of me, ask then God to say, "Lord, give me strength then to climb it. Give me strength to face this giant in front of me. If you don't, remove it." And that is how we need to pray. We need to say, "Okay, this is in my life now. This is the thing in front of me. This is a difficult situation. Maybe it's unemployment." Then you say, "Okay, God, yes, give me a job. But if you don't give me a job in the next month, give me the strength to still be searching, to still go through it." If someone in your family gets sick, pray for healing. But also say, "God, let your will be done and give me the strength to go through this. Give me the strength to go through this." So either remove the mountain or help me climb it. And that's what Jesus said here. He said, either take this cup from me, take the cross away, or give me the strength to face this battle. And Jesus had to face that battle. So that's a life lesson that you need to take with you when you pray, because things will become easier for you once you don't ask God, or you ask God to remove the mountain, but you don't put all your hope on that, because your will and his will might not be at the same place at that time. So that is the second part of this sermon, is just talking about how you need to trust God, that he can either move the mountain for you or he can help you move through it or climb it. Now, and this is where it gets tricky, because we know now you need to move forward. We know you need to trust God. But what about something else? What about when you're faced with people around you that are struggling? But let me explain the story. Okay, I'm a okay storyteller. So what happened is this brother was in front, and he started struggling. And then his brother, which was the best in the world, the reigning champion, came from behind. And the South African was also there. And then what happened is, just before the finish line, this brother started struggling and couldn't finish, and he stopped. And then what his brother did is, he took him around his arms, and he started carrying him to the finish line. And he sacrificed first place, because he was on record to actually pass his brother and finish first. And then all of a sudden, he didn't actually finish first. And even more so, what he did when he stopped at the finish line, he stopped just before the finish line. And then he just nudged his brother forward to take second place. And he went in to take third. And the guy from South Africa was first. And if you really want to, we'll watch that video, but it's so powerful, because in that video, it shows you how we need to help others. When you have strength, when you are able to move forward, you need to take others with you. When you can move forward, you need to take others with you. Because there will come a day when you need others to help you move forward. I've been in a lot of cell groups with my friends, and every cell group is different because in every cell group, a different person comes forth having a rough week that we need to pick up. And that's exactly how it works. We need to say, okay, God, at this moment in my life, I'm able to move forward. But who can I help to also move forward with me? And I want to read you the verse here. The last verse is Mark 12, verse 31. And it's a very important verse for knowing how to help others. And it's probably one of the more important commandments, the second important. Love your neighbors as you love yourself. There's no other commandment greater than these. If you enjoy moving forward in your own life, then you need to also help others move forward. Because this verse tells us, whatever you want in life, you need to want that for everybody else. If you want a family and a house and a car, then you need to also want that for everybody else. If you want to move forward in life, you also need to want that for other people. If you see a friend or someone stuck in a certain place in their life, then you need to feel the need to help them move forward. And that's important because that tells us, okay, we need to help others move forward. Because if it's what we want for ourselves, then it's something we also need to want for other people. And that's important. So it's not just about you, it's also about helping other people. And that video clip that I wanted to show you was so important. There's so many Bible lessons in that video. There's so many things you can take from that video because it just shows you how we can help others move forward. And it shows me when I watched that video, I was thinking to myself, life is difficult. Life is difficult for each one of us. We're all running this race. And we're all struggling for strength. A lot of people are saying, 2020, just let it go. The year must come to an end. I want Christmas. I want holidays. We're all struggling to actually get the energy maybe to finish this year. But if you have some energy left, help others. That Brownie, the older brother, didn't have a lot left, but he had some left to help his brother. He had some left because he could see what he has left and what his brother had left. And he saw, I have more, so I need to help that other person. And that's how we need to be. We need to say, okay, I know I don't have a lot of strength this week, but I do have more than some other people, so let me help them forward. I know I'm not maybe moving forward in my life as I dreamt, but I know there's other people struggling also that I need to help forward. And one day will come where you are that Brownlee guy that really needs the help. And then you would want people to help you. I remember my grandmother always said, rest her soul, oh, God rest her soul. She said, by the grace of God, there goes I. She always said, by the grace of God, there goes I. I just want to expand on that a bit and just tweak it a bit and say, by the grace of God, I can move. So let me help others move. By the grace of God, I can move. So let me help others move. It's only by God's grace that we are able to move forward. Only by God's grace that you can wake up tomorrow morning and actually go to work and live maybe your dream or build something. So by that grace of God, you can move, and we need to help others move. Amen. And that's all it's about. It's about moving forward and taking other people with you. So when you wake up tomorrow morning, just think, Lord, where can I move forward? Where can I go? But help me take other people with you or with me. Because in the end, we're all going to this final destination to finish the race, like this video said. We're trying to finish the race, trying to get to the end destination. And the end destination is the best because it's heaven. It's just about finishing that race and helping others finish it with us. And yes, we're all tired and we're all saying, I don't have a lot left in the tank for this year, but we know there's other people struggling also on the streets, other people in South Africa struggling. So we need to move forward together and move forward and actually just take everybody, all that you can, take them with you. And in the end, when you're tired and when you're worn out, I promise you, God will send you someone to pick you up.